Hi and welcome to Tutorial K Kisses. In this tutorial, a revision of some parts of speech, among them prepositions, object of the verb. But seeing as our topic is love, got some love poems too. And let's begin with one of those. I Love You by Ella Wheeler Wilcox. I love your lips when they're wet with wine and red with a wild desire. I love your eyes when the love light lies, lit with a passionate fire. And here's another one by Ben Jonson. Drink to me only with thine eyes, and I will pledge it mine, or leave a kiss but in the cup, and I'll not look for wine. And from the sublime to the ridiculous, more prepositions. Cooperate your girlfriend in this matter, please. Cooperate, what preposition will go in here? Cooperate with your girlfriend. We complained the landlord about the unromantic view. We complained to the landlord about the unromantic view. Why did you argue something your girlfriend? Why did you argue with your girlfriend something such a trivial matter? Guess it could be over such a trivial matter, or it could be about such a trivial matter. Rodney recommended that love story, Something Me, to me. We are going shopping, something a wedding ring. For a wedding ring. One more page of these prepositions to insert. She will definitely agree something her boyfriend. Agree with her boyfriend. How can you fit your wedding dress in that tiny suitcase? Into that tiny suitcase. She reminds me something, my first love. She reminds me of my first love. We'll advise them something our change in plans, of our change in plans. I'm going to apply something funding for my wedding. I'm going to apply for funding. Will you please attend something that matter before the wedding can happen? Will you please attend to that matter? Words describing a positive tone. Warm, tender, gentle, loving, paternal or fatherly, maternal or motherly, magnanimous or generous, benevolent or kind, jovial and amiable for friendly, endearing, charming, complimentary, ardent or keen and enthusiastic, ecstatic and elated for very happy, exhilarated for extremely happy and stimulated, jubilant, celebratory, passionate. There's some nice happy words describing positive tones. Positive moods, enthusiastic, cordial or friendly, inspired, lyrical, almost song-like, exuberant, excited. Revising the object of the verb. Mike followed, we've got the subject of the verb Mike. There's the verb followed. In this case, it's an intransitive verb. There is no object. You've got the finite verb followed with the subject Mike. This time he did follow something. He followed the tiger. So in this second sentence, that verb followed has an object, the tiger. Can we find the object of the verb? Whom or what did he feed? He fed his pig. Mary called her what? She called whom? She called her sister. That sentence could be ambiguous. Someone else, and she called her sister, but it's not actually her sister. Whom did Fred visit? His aunt. What did Jay win? The car. Whom did the child follow? His father. What did the man receive? The news. What did the farmer see? Ominous clouds. What did I have? A toy theatre. What did Fred drop? His ticket. What did the boys climb? The tall tree. Parts of speech revision. Use the word round as a noun, a verb, an adjective. Obviously, many possible answers. I'm going to say we ordered a round of drinks as the noun. As a verb, when I see you round the corner, I will shout. An adjective, the round ball dropped into the square slot. Use each word figuratively. I'm going to say to air your views. The speech that we heard was watered down. That's not literal water. Fired. He fired off a number of nasty comments. I've used each word figuratively rather than literally. Provide an antonym for the opposite of knowledge. I'm going to say stupidity. The opposite of opaque. Opaque meaning you can't see through something. The opposite of that, transparent, meaning you can see through it. And the opposite of shameful, having no shame, or having lots of shame, I'm going to put a word meaning having no shame, shameless. Correct each sentence. Neither Jim nor his girlfriend were able to concentrate. That's a concord error. Words like neither and nor, we use the singular verb was. If I was you, I would kiss her, but I'm not you. So that's the subjunctive mood of the verb. If I were you, I would kiss her. Being tired after the long journey, the cool kiss was very welcoming. It sounds like the kiss was tired after the long journey, and we're not told who is giving this kiss. So being tired after the long journey, the couple found, I'm just going to say they found the long kiss very welcoming. And I guess we can take out the was. They found the long kiss very welcoming. After pushing and pulling for 2 minutes, the piano went through the door. It sounds like the piano is doing the pushing and pulling. So we've got to say, who was doing the pushing and pulling? The movers, the furniture movers. The movers moved. The movers succeeded in pushing the piano. I didn't want to say moved again. Pushing the piano through the door into my boyfriend's apartment. On arriving at the studio, again, it sounds like backbiting is arriving at the studio. So who arrived? We don't know. We have to make it up. The actors found. The backbiting to be becoming very intense. I'm just going to simplify it and just say they found the backbiting to be, should really be to becoming very intense. I never remember to have experienced such treatment. I cannot remember ever experiencing. I cannot remember having experienced. I cannot remember ever having experienced Oh, my cursor is not cooperating. I cannot remember having experienced such treatment. He was unaware or indifferent to his talents. Fair enough, he was indifferent to his talents, but unless we add another preposition in here, we're saying he was unaware to his talents, and that sounds very funny. So we've got to add in a different preposition here. He was unaware of or indifferent to his talents. These are confusing. My brother as well as my sister, we assume they want us to change this to is. My brother is coming to the wedding as well as my sister. Correct each sentence. While arguing with her husband, their little son Timothy came running into the bedroom. Doesn't make sense because this is talking about the wife. So we've got to say something like the wife noticed. Their little son Timothy she noticed him come running into the bedroom. Saying goodbye to his wife, the bus left the terminus. Sounds like the bus was saying goodbye to his wife. We've got to say who it is. The husband saw. The bus leave the terminus. If broken, we should fix the brakes. That sounds like if we are broken, we should fix the brakes. If we see that they are broken. If we see that they are broken, comma, we should fix the brakes. I found a box of tomatoes which were lying on the table. It's one box, so let's just take out the which were. I found a box of tomatoes lying on the table. While lying in my room, my uncle ran into the room. Who was lying in the room? I'm going to say while I was lying in the room, I saw my uncle run in. And I'm going to take out this repetition of the room. I'm going to make it running in. I saw my uncle running in. After knocking on the door, it was opened by my girlfriend. After I knocked on the door. After I knocked on the door, it was opened by my girlfriend. There is a large jelly for the birthday girl with cherries on the top. So otherwise it sounds like the birthday girl has cherries on the top. So let's rather say, I'm going to make it short and sweet and say, there was a large cherry-topped jelly. There was a large cherry-topped jelly for the birthday girl. And then delete all of this cherries on the top business here. There we've corrected those sentences. Choose the correct word. He is as clever as us are, or as we are. As we are. So let's remove the us. He suffers with insomnia? No. He suffers from insomnia or sleeplessness. He suffers from insomnia. He corresponds with his girlfriend or to his girlfriend. He corresponds with his girlfriend. A large amount of kisses were enjoyed by the couple. It's one amount. A large amount of kisses was enjoyed by the couple. It sounds very awkward. So I'm just going to say many kisses were enjoyed by the couple. Ooh. In China. Many kisses were enjoyed by the couple. Corresponds with his girlfriend in China. Find the adjectival clause, a group of words acting as an adjective. And here it's very clear. It's the words that are describing the boy. And it's which boy? The boy who had the smartest outfit. And here, which girl? The girl who flashed the brightest smile. Those are our adjectival clauses. More about verbs. There are 3 kinds of verbs. A transitive verb is followed by an object. The sailor drank the rum. An intransitive verb has no object. The prince sneezed. A linking verb shows the connection between a noun and another noun, or a noun and an adjective. That boy is my friend. Those pearls are valuable. Those are linking verbs. Also, more about transitive and intransitive verbs. He drives a car, transitive. What does he drive? It has an object. But she drives, or she sometimes drives. There's no object, so it's intransitive. It's the context that determines whether the verb is transitive or intransitive. And then we've also got finite and non-finite verb forms. To have a sentence, a full sentence, that verb is going to be finite because it has a subject, a number, and a tense. Venus is listening carefully. We've got the subject Venus. The verb is listening. It's a finite verb. But if we've got something that's not a sentence, waiting for the bus, we're not told who's waiting for the bus. There's no subject, no number, no tense. This verb here, waiting, is non-finite. And then there's 2 different kinds of non-finite verbs. The infinitive, that's words like to run, to jump, to swim. And then the participle. The present participle ends in ing, bathing or bathing, jumping, writing. The past participle, parted, dusted, prepared. Participles. Participles can, in addition to their use in forming tenses, be verbal adjectives, otherwise known as gerundives, a swimming pool, a talking parrot, or verbal nouns or gerunds. Swimming is good exercise. That looks like a verb. It's the name of the thing that's good exercise, so the fancy word for that, a gerund. We had a few of these earlier, but here's some more. Correcting the misrelated participle. Who was sitting in the room? This sentence sounds like his thoughts were sitting in the room, so we'll just make it he. He found that his thoughts turned to his wife. Now it's clear who was sitting in the room. He was. Reaching their honeymoon destination in Italy. Sounds like the roads were reaching their destination. So we're just going to say the couple found that the roads became uneven. Standing on the balcony. Who was standing on the balcony? Not the sunset. I'm going to say I saw that the sunset was beautiful. I saw that the sunset was beautiful. Listening to the man's story, his voice made him sleepy. It sounds like his voice was listening to his story. So I'm going to say, she found that his voice made her sleepy. Now it's clear who was listening to the man's story. She was. Add suffixes, something that comes after the word, to create a noun. This is easy. Advertise becomes advertisement. Erupt becomes eruption. Imprison becomes imprisonment. Some word games. What word goes after moon and before house? I almost said it. The moon's something and the something house. It's light. Moonlight. And what becomes before house? Light, a lighthouse. What word goes after here and before taste? Here's something and something taste, the same word. The answer is hereafter and after taste. B plus falling water gives thinking apparatus. Falling water is easy. A word for falling water in 4 letters only. Rain. B plus rain gives thinking apparatus. What thinking apparatus are we talking about if it's just B plus rain? B plus rain gives brain. Dis plus one who belongs equals cut off limb. Someone who belongs to a club, let us say. He has a card, and what is he? Dis plus member is a fancy word for to cut off your arm or leg, and it's just dis plus member together. So our answer is dismember. And then unfeeling plus gives digit, a digit of your hand. So unfeeling, the dentist gives you an injection to make your tooth unfeeling. He makes it numb. And we add and we get this fancy word for number. It's that kind of a digit, a number. Words starting with a K, relating to or resulting from motion. The answer is kinetic. Small worthless objects, especially household ornaments, knickknacks with a silent K. A rare mental health disorder characterized by an uncontrollable urge to steal items that are unnecessary and of little value. You steal compulsively. You are suffering from kleptomania. The last 2 tutorials we've looked at ideas for opening lines. Here are some more. Turn common phrases upside down. They say honesty is the best policy, but they're wrong. Start with a whisper. Nobody noticed the tapping except me. Use time pressure. In exactly 10 seconds, I knew everything would fall apart. Start in the middle of the action. I ran before I even knew what I was running from. Use contrast. He smiled like an angel and lied like a devil. Antithesis was the name of that figure of speech that we spoke of earlier. Break a rule. This isn't a story, it's a confession. Ask a curious question. What if everything you believed about teenagers was wrong? A bold statement. A belief in perfection is the fastest way to stay average. And with those in mind, Here are some writing topics for the week. My first date, the dating game, the fears I have as I think about you, a parting that gnaws at my mind, sugar and spice and everything nice, that's what little girls are made of, snakes and snails and puppy dogs' tails, that's what little boys are made of. Or you could choose this picture. So once again, my first date, the dating game, my fears about you, a parting that gnaws at my mind, sugar and spice and everything nice, that's what little girls are made of, snakes and snails and puppy dogs' tails, that's what little boys are made of, or that picture. And as usual, to finish off our tutorial, a quick little vocabulary quiz. To make unhappy, I think they want us to say to depress. And then we've got a mushroom, starting with an F. A fungus. Nearness. I'm excited by the what of you. The pro, the proximity is the closeness of you. The proximity. Reasoning power starting with int. I think they wanted us simply to say intelligence. A big city starting with met is a met. And the word is metropolis, metropolis. An important story. I don't know about important. To me, that's wrong. To me, this is like a fairly casual story. A story told casually is an anecdote, a personal story, an anecdote. And last one, a common old saying, like as green as grass, a cliche. And that's our tutorial. Hope you'll come back and join us for tutorial L, lilting loveliness. Until I see you again, my best wishes to you and look forward to seeing you again next time. Bye-bye.